St. Helens General Hospital stood at the northern edge of Birmingham, England, surrounded by a ring of old oak trees that creaked even without wind. The hospital was respected, busy, and efficient, but the West Wing, especially maternity ward room 317, carried an unsettling reputation among the staff. Temperature drops, unexplained equipment failures, footsteps in empty corridors, lights flickering at the exact same time every night, 2:33 a.m. Doctors dismissed it. The management ignored it, but nurses whispered about it, especially during night shifts. Tonight, Nurse Emily Carter felt those whispers tightening around her. It was 11:58 p.m. Her shift had barely begun. Emily was young, experienced, and known for her calm head during emergencies. She stood at her small workstation just outside room 317, updating a patient's chart. Only one patient was admitted in this room tonight. Hanna Reynolds, a 26-year-old woman in early labor, first pregnancy. Healthy, stable, but frightened in the way first-time mothers always were. Emily had done the monitoring checks twice. Everything was normal. Then she heard it, a faint, slow scraping sound echoing down the dimly lit corridor. Her fingers froze over the keyboard. It wasn't the metallic roll of a trolley, nor the squeak of a wheelchair, nor the steps of a night cleaner. This sound was softer, lighter, the scratch of nails dragging across tile. "Nurse, did you hear that?" Hanna whispered from her bed. Emily forced a gentle tone. "Probably the janitor's cart. I'll take a look." The lights flickered. Just once, but long enough to make the hallway feel colder. Emily took her flashlight, opened the door halfway, and leaned into the corridor. It was empty. Completely. The emergency light glowed dimly at the far end, stretching shadows across the tiles like long, crooked fingers. The silence was unnatural, heavy enough to touch. Then she saw them. Wet footprints. Small, uneven. Not human. Not quite animal either. And the worst part, those prints weren't leading toward room 317. They were leading out of it. Emily felt a chill run up her spine. How is that possible? She turned back toward the room. Hanna was pushing herself up on her elbows, her face pale and scared. Another sound echoed. A low, breathy exhale, followed by the soft thump of something heavy moving. Emily raised the flashlight, aiming at the corner beside the supply closet. The beam shook. At first, she thought it was a trick of the shadows. But then, two glowing crimson eyes stared back. Her breath seized in her throat. She dropped the flashlight. It rolled across the floor and stopped a few feet away, its beam angled upward, revealing an enormous black dog. Not a normal dog. Its fur was jet black, absorbing every trace of light. Its shoulders were too broad, its body too still, too silent. And its glowing red eyes didn't blink, just stared with cold, ancient hatred. Hanna gasped from inside the room, clutching her stomach, the fetal monitor beeping faster. The dog lowered its massive head and sniffed the wet footprints. Then, slowly, deliberately, it lifted its gaze to room 317 and began walking toward it. Emily slammed the door shut and locked it. Hanna's voice trembled. "What was that?" What did you see?" Emily swallowed hard. "Probably a stray dog. Security must have missed it. Stray dogs don't have eyes like that." Hanna cried, shaking. Emily had no answer. Her hand trembled as she grabbed the intercom. Static. A broken beep. Deadline. The lights blinked again, longer this time. The room temperature dropped sharply, fog collecting on metal equipment. The fetal monitor flickered, its screen glitching. Then came the first thud. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Something hit the door from outside. Hanna sobbed, covering her ears. "It's trying to come in." Emily rushed to the bottom of the door and crouched, peeking through the small gap. She froze. The thin strip of light beneath the door disappeared completely. Something enormous was blocking it. And then, something slid forward. A black tongue. Long. Thin. Unnatural. It pushed slightly into the room before slipping back out. Emily scrambled away, slamming her hand over her mouth to stifle a scream. Then silence. No breathing. No scratching. No footsteps. Just silence. Emily waited a full minute before forcing herself to unlock the door and open it slowly. The corridor was empty. The footprints were gone. The air was normal again. No dog. No sound. Except, right in front of room 317 on the polished tiles, was a single, enormous black paw print. Too large for any dog. Too defined to be human. Too strange to belong to anything natural. Emily felt her pulse hammering in her throat. She locked the door again and rushed to Hannah's bedside. Hannah, we're staying in this room. I'm not leaving your side until the baby is out. Do you understand me? Hannah nodded weakly, tears streaming. But her next words froze Emily's blood. Emily. That thing. It looked at me. She clutched her belly. It was waiting. I could feel it. Emily swallowed. Waiting for what? Hannah's voice cracked as she whispered. My baby. The clock on the wall ticked forward to 12:41 a.m., each second echoing too loudly in the silent room. Nurse Emily Carter sat beside Hanna Reynolds, her chair pulled close to the bed, her eyes fixed on the door. She didn't trust the quiet. Not after what she had seen. Hannah was clutching her belly, breathing shackily through contractions. Not strong enough to deliver yet, but intense enough to make her tremble. The fetal monitor flickered every now and then, as if struggling to stay alive. Neither woman spoke for several minutes. Not about the dog. Not about the paw print. Not about the feeling that something was still out there. The hospital corridor on the other side of the door felt alive, breathing with an unseen presence. Finally, Hannah broke the silence. Emily. Her voice was fragile, the voice of someone balancing on the edge of panic. What if that thing wasn't an animal? Emily wanted to give a reassuring smile, but her lips wouldn't move that way. What else could it be? She whispered. Hannah swallowed. I don't know, but when it looked at me, I felt something cold. She closed her eyes tightly, like it wanted my baby, like it recognized me. Emily shivered. Before she could respond, the overhead lights flickered again, 3 quick flashes, then returned to normal. Exactly like the rumors said, 317 always flickered 3 times. Emily stood up. I'm going to call the security desk from the hall phone. I won't go far. No, please don't leave me. Hannah reached out, grabbing her wrist. I'll be right outside, just 2 meters away. A sudden sound cut her off. A faint click, click, click. Claws tapping tile, coming from the corridor. Slow, unhurried, confident. Emily's breath caught. Hannah squeezed her hand. It came back. Emily turned off the overhead lights immediately, plunging the room into a dim bluish glow from the monitors. She approached the door quietly, her shoes silent on the floor. The tapping grew louder. Closer! The dog, or whatever it was walking directly toward room 317. Emily's hands shook, but she forced herself to stay calm. She leaned in, pressing her ear to the cool wood of the door. Tap, tap, tap. Now right outside. She held her breath. Hannah sobbed softly behind her, whispering prayers under her breath. Then something touched the door. A slow, deliberate scratch, like claws dragging downward. Emily stumbled back. Footsteps, heavy ones, echoed in the corridor now. Not claws. Something else. Maybe a person? Or something pretending to be. She risked a whisper. Hannah, I think someone else is out there. Hannah shook her head vehemently. No, that thing wasn't human. The scratching stopped. Then a voice echoed through the door. A deep, distorted whisper. Open the door. Emily froze. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Hannah covered her mouth to muffle a scream. The voice came again, lower, colder, impossible. Let me in. Emily shook her head in disbelief. It's mimicking. Animals don't mimic human speech. Hannah whispered, horrified. That's because it's not an animal. Everything went silent again. Emily crept forward and looked through the tiny glass panel in the door. At first, she saw nothing. Just the dim corridor illuminated by the yellow emergency light. Then, red eyes appeared, right at the center of the window. Emily gasped loudly, stumbling back so hard she hit the equipment tray. The metal instruments clattered to the floor. The dog didn't blink. It didn't even snarl. It simply stared, unmoving, unbreathing, unnatural. And then it lifted a massive black paw and pressed it gently against the window. A streak of dark mud smeared across the glass. Emily pulled down the blinds instantly, breaking the eye contact. The dog's shadow loomed on the other side of the blinds, huge, stretching long across the floor as it stood unnervingly still. Why is it doing this? Hannah whimpered. Emily didn't answer. Her mind raced. Why room 317? Why this patient? Why this baby? Her fear sharpened into determination. I'm calling Dr. Lawson. We need backup. She grabbed the bedside phone and dialed the on-call physician. 1 ring, 2 rings, 3. Finally, a voice answered. DR. Lawson speaking. Emily started to breathe again. Doctor, thank God. I need you to come to maternity 317 right now. There's something. But she froze mid-sentence. The voice on the line changed. It grew deeper, rougher. Not human. Emily. Open the door. She slammed the phone down and backed away, trembling violently. That thing, Hanna whispered. It's in the phone lines. Emily forced herself to stay steady. We're safe as long as the door is locked. We just need to wait. Sunrise is in 6 hours. Hanna clutched her belly. I don't think I have 6 hours. The contractions are coming quicker. Emily checked the monitor. She was right. This labor was progressing unusually fast. Okay, breathe. You'll be fine. I'll deliver the baby myself if I have to. But her confidence was a mask, thin, cracking. The dog's shadow moved again. It paced outside the door, slowly, methodically, as if guarding something, or claiming something. Hanna whimpered in pain as another contraction hit. Emily guided her through it, but she couldn't stop glancing at the blinds. The shadow paused, then grew larger, 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 as if the creature was standing on its hind legs, stretching higher than any dog could or should. Emily's blood ran cold. This thing wasn't just a dog. It wasn't just an animal. It was changing, adapting, becoming something else, something more horrifying. The lights flickered again. The monitors beeped erratically. Hanna screamed in pain. Emily rushed to her side. Okay, stay with me. Your baby is coming faster than normal. Too fast. Outside the door, something slammed against the wall. A heavy thud that shook the entire room. Then another, and another, as if the creature was losing patience. Emily swallowed hard. It knows the baby is coming. Hanna grabbed her arm, eyes wild with terror. Emily, don't let it take my child. Emily squeezed her hand. I won't. I promise. But she wasn't sure she could keep that promise, because from the other side of the door came the most terrifying sound yet. A deep, guttural growl that slowly twisted into a sound resembling a human laugh. Long, low, mocking, and then a whisper. Almost time. The walls of room 317 trembled again as something enormous crashed against the corridor outside. The metal IV stands rattled. The monitor screens flickered violently, their beeps turning into jagged bursts of static. Nurse Emily Carter stood beside Hanna Reynolds, her gloved hands shaking as she prepared for an emergency delivery she had never imagined performing alone, while something monstrous waited right outside the door. Hanna screamed through another contraction, gripping the rails so tightly her knuckles turned white. Emily checked her dilation and nearly staggered back. 8 centimeters. It shouldn't be this fast. Your body is rushing this. Hanna sobbed through clenched teeth. It wants the baby. It's making my body push. It's forcing it. Emily wanted to deny that, but the truth pressed coldly at the back of her skull. Every medical anomaly tonight, every glitch, every unnatural shift. It all began the moment the black dog appeared. Another crash. The door to room 317 buckled inward. The top hinge bent slightly, letting in a thin sliver of shadow. Something massive pressed against the wood, breathing deeply. Emily grabbed a metal IV pole and stood guard near the door. The creature scraped its claws along the metal surface. Shriek. The horrifying sound filled the room like a scream that wasn't allowed to escape. Emily's pulse hammered. She whispered through her teeth, "We're not opening the door. Do you hear me? We're not." Hanna whimpered. "Emily, please hurry. I think the baby's coming now." Emily rushed to her side. "Okay, breathe. You're doing amazing. I'm right here." But her voice wavered. Outside, the creature growled, long and low, then spoke again in that distorted human-like whisper. "Give me the child." Hanna sobbed. Emily snapped back at the thing, fury breaking through her fear. "Leave us alone." A horrible silence answered her. Then, the lights shut off completely. Darkness swallowed the room. Hanna screamed. Emily fumbled for her flashlight, switching it on. A narrow beam of cold white light cut through the blackness. The flashlight flickered. Emily prayed it wouldn't die on her now. The fetal monitor beeped rapidly, faster than it should. Hanna's contractions surged unnaturally close together. Emily's voice shook. "Hanna, you need to push." Hanna nodded weakly. Tears streamed down her face as she obeyed the command. Outside, the dog, or the thing wearing the dog's shape, paced back and forth. Its shadow loomed under the door. Its breath fogged against the floor gap with unnatural heat. Emily worked quickly, her hands steady even though everything else shook. "Hanna, push. You're almost there." Hanna gripped the bed frame. Emily, it hurts so much. You're strong. Keep going. I can see the head. The creature outside slammed against the door again, harder. The entire door bent inward, a spiderweb crack forming along its top half. Emily's heart seized. It was breaking in. Hurry, Hanna. Push NOW. A final scream tore from Hanna's throat as the baby slid into Emily's hands. A newborn's slippery, fragile weight. A miracle. Emily wrapped the baby in warm blankets, wiping its face quickly, bringing it close. And then, the baby cried. A strong, sharp wail that filled the whole room. The monster outside froze. The tapping stopped. The breathing stopped. The growling stopped. Silence. Emily's hands trembled as she lifted the baby. It's a girl, she's okay. Hanna sobbed with relief, reaching weakly for her daughter. But then Emily saw something that froze her blood. The baby's cry echoed oddly, as if the sound bounced through the walls like a sonar pulse, and the creature reacted. It began clawing the door with an urgency Emily had never heard before, ferocious, desperate. Something about the baby's cry was calling it. Hanna saw the horror on Emily's face. What's wrong? Is she okay? Emily forced confidence into her voice. Yes, she's perfect. But inside her mind, icy panic rose. The monster wasn't just hunting the baby. It had been waiting for her birth. Emily lifted the child, bringing her close to Hanna. But Hanna's eyes went wide, terrified. What's on her shoulder? Emily blinked. She gently shifted the blanket aside. A strange, dark mark stretched across the newborn's shoulder like a whisper of ink, shaped almost like a paw print. Emily's throat tightened. No. The monster outside let out a sound Emily would never forget. A deep growl melting into a guttural, rasping laugh. It knew. It sensed the baby's arrival. And it wanted her. Emily's survival instincts ignited. We're leaving. Right now. But the thing... I'll protect you both. Grab the baby. Don't make noise. Emily grabbed a scalpel from the tray and held it tight. Even though she knew it wouldn't matter, she unlocked the side emergency exit inside room 317. A small door leading to the fire escape corridor. The hinges squeaked, loud in the silence. The black dog instantly turned its attention to the sound. Emily hissed. Go, Gio. Hanna held the newborn tightly against her chest and shuffled through the small emergency doorway with Emily supporting her. They made it 3 steps down the corridor before they heard it. A door exploding. The creature tore straight through the main door of room 317. Wood shattered. Metal cracked. Something massive landed in the room behind them. Emily screamed, "RUN." Hanna stumbled but pushed forward, clutching her child. Emily glanced back. The creature stepped into view, no longer shaped like a dog. Its body had stretched, taller, broader, its legs bent in unnatural ways, its silhouette shifting like smoke around a solid core. But its eyes remained bright, burning red, fixed on Hanna's newborn. It let out a roar that shook dust from the ceiling. Emily shoved Hanna down the stairwell. Don't look back. The creature lunged. Emily slammed the metal-fired door closed. Boom. The impact dented the steel outward. Emily bolted down the stairs, practically dragging Hanna behind her. They reached the ground floor. The exit sign glowed a faint green. Almost there. Emily burst through the final door into the back parking lot. Cold night air slapped her face. Keep moving. Don't stop. Hanna sobbed, clutching her baby, running barefoot across the pavement. Behind them, crash. The fire exit door blew open. The creature emerged into the cold night, taller now, its black smoke-like form unraveling at the edges. But something stopped it. The creature froze at the threshold, refusing to step fully outside. The newborn in Hanna's arms began to cry again, loud, sharp, echoing. The monster howled, furious, frustrated, unable to cross the threshold as if something held it back. Emily dragged Hanna farther and farther away. When they reached the far gate of the hospital, she dared to look back. The creature stood in the doorway, red eyes burning through the darkness, watching them leave. Its body flickered like dying flames. It gave one final whisper, carried on the cold wind. This is not the end. I will come for her. And then its red eyes faded into the darkness. Emily pulled Hanna closer. You're safe now, she said softly. But she didn't believe it, because in Hanna's arms, the baby's mark, that dark paw-shaped imprint, glowed faintly under the moonlight.